Dave here. I'm going to make some drop biscuits real quick. If you want to make some good biscuits, you want to make sure your milk and your butter are cold. So I'm going to leave the milk in the fridge until the last possible moment. I took a stick of butter and I threw it in the freezer. And I'm going to give the butter about a good half hour to get nice and frozen. To work with the butter, I'll use a box grater. If you don't have a box grater or grating your butter sounds like too much work, you can throw it in the freezer and then just dice it up. So for ingredients, 2 cups of flour, tablespoon of sugar, 1 stick of butter, frozen, tablespoon of baking powder. If you can find the aluminum-free stuff, great. Probably not a good idea to be eating aluminum. Teaspoon of salt. Additionally, 3/4 cup of whole milk. As far as the equipment goes, a 1 quart or larger bowl or measuring cup in this case, 1 cup liquid measuring cup, tablespoon, 1 cup measuring cup, whisk, spoon, tiny spatula for scraping things down. Let's get started. First I'm just going to throw in the small things. Tablespoon baking powder, teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon white sugar, 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Ideally, I would be weighing this out, but that's a little bit of a hassle. So, spoon it into your measuring cup, 1 cup of flour. Just give this a good whisk. You want to make sure your dry ingredients are nice and mixed together. Grab your butter from the freezer. You want to grate this on the largest size of your box grater. And you want to grate 6 tablespoons. The last 2 tablespoons we're going to melt and brush on top of our biscuits. So just grab that butter and grate it. Try to do this as quick as you can. Slightly more than 6 tablespoons, but that's alright. We need to get all of this butter with the dry ingredients. Full of butter all over the place. I really don't know that this is worth it. Get all this butter in here. Now you want to mix your butter in with your dry ingredients. Should go pretty quick since the butter's in such small little bits. Now it's time for milk. 3/4 cup of whole milk. 3/4 cup. I just like to kind of drizzle this so that I don't just have one pool of milk on one side. Now this is where you need to be careful. If you overmix your biscuit dough, you're gonna have hockey pucks instead of biscuits. I like to try to mix this maybe a dozen times. So I'm going to count here as I'm mixing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Scrape down the sides as best as you can. And I'll also consider this the 10th mix. Then I'm going to try to get deep down in there where we have some dry stuff. Was that 11? This is actually looking pretty good. It's going to be lumpy. Let's give it another stir. Alright, now I'm going to grab a cookie sheet. Butter up your cookie sheet real quick. After you've buttered your cookie sheet, you're just going to want to take this biscuit dough. Just try to form biscuit blobs. This isn't exactly a drop biscuit, and it's not exactly a rolled out cut biscuit. Round-ish biscuits. These are probably, what, 3/4 inch high, maybe 1 inch high. I'll probably get 6 or 8 biscuits out of this. Make some nice little biscuit shapes. Try to get these all about the same height. Somewhere in the range of 3/4 to 1 inch high. Throw these into your oven. 425 degrees, let's say 8 minutes. Pull your biscuits out of the oven once they look nice and browned like so. Melt remaining 2 tablespoons of butter, and then give these all a nice brush of butter. A nice, well-buttered biscuit is always wonderful. Let's grab this little one here. Just butter this guy up real good. Now let's take a look. Now these just came out of the oven, so they're hot. Oh yeah, that is a good biscuit. Nice and brown on the bottom, nice and golden on top. Soft, buttery. These are good biscuits.